In patch 7.4, the Courtly Lover's Attire was added to the game, a new crafted set that you're probably using currently, if not pentamelding this as your progress through the Arcadian Heavyweight, or just maybe you might have this just as normal combat gear. This is 770 item level and is crafted. In this video, we're going to do what we usually do. It took me a while to do this and a few extra days than I wanted. We're going to look at the armor, the weapons, and the accessories with full dyes as well. First off then, let's look at Fending, which is an absolutely stunning set. I was very happy to obviously get all of these in the game, and I was even more happy to realize that they were so intricately detailed. The dyes are pretty good as well. We'll get to that in a moment. So the Fending one, obviously you've got this brass inlay in a lot of the features, and we've got a lot of nice different colors as well. The Maiming set does share a lot of this, but is a different color. There's the robe on its own there, so nice big open area. The gloves are absolutely exceptional with that flower motif, nice sort of metal inlay there, and the leggings that you don't usually get to see unless you take off the robe. The boots are pretty nice actually, as just a takeaway from this. If you want any particular item, a lot of these sets have really beautiful looking boots, different type heels, lots of different metal inlays with fabric, and look pretty good with other items. It is a really lovely looking set. Comparatively then to the Maiming set, which obviously has a different base dye, there's a lot of similarities. In fact, it's mostly the same. There are some differences though, as you can see, with obviously the base coloration and of course the different coloration of the metal. Pretty much like lots of other outfits that have come before, basically the variant just comes with a different type of metal, so there's silver instead of brass. But it's really quite nice. I like this base color that they've gone for, but again, just to tick all of the boxes, I thought we would actually showcase these just equally between all of them. The flowers really do pop with that dark purple sort of violet. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And of course, with the belt line there on the bottoms you don't normally see, there is a flower as well. Same with the boots, we've got those nice silver inlay. A lot of these armor sets would look really good in combination with the new Mistwake dungeon set. We've also done a video on that. Mixing and matching with that will probably result in some really nice looking glams, but pretty happy for Fending and Maiming. They both look really good. Moving on then to striking, which is quite striking in appearance. We've got this sort of much more pleated open robe. On the back there's less of a compact design, more open flesh areas, open space there. The gloves are nice and ruffled, and the back of the robe's pretty nice. It has a much better representation with the tail. The helm is probably my least favorite part about this, that kind of little tiara, face tiara thing. There it is with just the robe then, showing those arms. The gloves are actually quite nice. I probably will use these on lots of other sets. Again, if you're going for this, you're gonna have to kind of like the love theme. It does remind me of LeBlanc from Final Fantasy X-2 slightly, but thankfully there aren't love hearts on every single piece. There's just these subtle roses, and of course with the dye palette you'll see later you can make these a lot more subtle. But yeah, the striking set is actually quite nice, quite unique. Just don't like the helm personally, but that belt section, oh, absolutely gorgeous. Moving on then to aiming, which shares some similarities, but as you can see, the left side of your character has openness rather than those two bits of robe, and then the shoulders have got these giant roses with metal clasps, and this is brass on the aiming one. Some very interesting leggings on this as well. The face thing is pretty cool as well. If you've got shorter hair, if you've got bangs on your character, that's going to clip wildly. But the nice robe is one of those cut open ones. So if you like to make the most out of leggings, then you'll actually see them. The gloves are quite nice, quite short, little love hearts on there as well. The legs then are really exceptional. The flared bottoms, I will definitely be using these in other glams. It's really hard to see a lot of the time, so I thought we'd make the extra effort to show them separately. The boots are pretty interesting, little heels with a brass sort of metal there. And yeah, it's nice. It's a nice set. And then the opposite of that, then the flip side would be a change to that of our scouting set, which shares pretty much all of the same DNA, just with lots of differences in terms of the metal coloration, much darker metal there, as you can see, and of course the coloration of the flowers and hearts. I do actually prefer the scouting set to the aiming set, just because of that darker metal, much easier to match to than any brass in the game. Brass is incredibly difficult to match to. Metallic brass as a dye does not really match with half of the brass in the game, whereas silver and dark colors like this, dark blues, very easy to match with. And yeah, those leggings look absolutely awesome in that color. Really do like those. I will probably use those with a variety of things. And there's the heels as well, which you can barely see in that coloration. But yeah, they look really nice decorative. They remind me of something you might see on the cash shop, quite honestly. I really quite like those. And then, of course, with that full set, which I think is absolutely exceptional, we're moving over to our healer. And the healing set then, they've gone for a big old robe. A lot of people are very upset with robes by now. Oh, look, it's another robe. But aside from it being, yet again, another robe, it is quite a nice robe. There's some nice inlay here. Obviously, the healer set, we're getting the brass or gold, which may or may not be the easiest thing. You'll notice with the helm actually here as well, there's like little ear pockets. Those are not actually related to your character's ears. They just apply regardless of whatever your race is. Here you go. Here's a separate view of what those look like separately, just to give you an idea. There's the robe as well without the helm. So yeah, it's quite a nice robe, honestly. I've seen a lot worse in the game. There's lots of intricate details. Underneath then, it is hiding these really nice short gloves with not lots of metal inlay and a red gem. And the legs are much more flared out rather than just tapered and then flared at the bottom. So similar to that of the aiming and scouting set, but quite different. And the healing shoes are again different intricate details on the back, a lot thicker of a heel, and of course we've got that petal design on the front there as well, which is quite nice. It's not a bad set, honestly, if you can get past the fact it's a robe. The casting set is pretty much a mirror image of that, of the healing set, but of course we've got those differences in making it silver inlay, much darker colored metal, easier to match to with other pieces of glamour, and of course that sort of dark blue / purple / violet undertone there, looking really good. There's a better shot of the helm. And yeah, honestly, I can imagine mixing and matching this with probably some of the Mistwake helms. The Mistwake hoods would probably go well with this, but their own hoods are quite nice. It might be one of the nicer crafted sets we've had in Dawntrail, in my opinion. A lot of them have been a little bit different styled for me, for my own taste, but this is quite nice. This is back up there with the sort of thing that you could make a pretty edgy looking Casterglam. And there's the shoes as well, which look really good, especially in that silver. Definitely something I'll probably end up using. There's a lot of pieces that I will probably recycle into other sets going forward, especially in the future when people forget about this set and there's less people running around with it as actual gear. Just to give you a demonstration then, as we said, with those helms and aura, we used a Fantasia here to demonstrate this. The aura horns will pop on the side of your character, just outside of the fabric, which is to be expected. We've also got no differences with Hrothgar, but they can actually wear the helm. And Viera ears then pop out the top. There is the Viera ear toggle if you don't want that to be. And if you toggle it off, you turn into what would effectively be a humanoid model, and you would just have the flat head. But sometimes it's nice to have your ears pop out. In terms of dye previews then, obviously we're going to go through what we normally do. It would be pointless for me to talk the entire duration of the entire dye section, but we have timestamped this, and there are double dyes for every single set, even though there are some great similarities. But I thought it would still be nice to show you what it would be like on casting and healing, for example, and striking, etc. Even though the only difference is the metal color, because sometimes that can be the difference between you liking a piece and not liking it. So I'll return to you in voice form when we've gone through the dyes. All right, I'm back then. So yeah, the dyes are pretty good. Honestly, I was really happy. Just a bit of an example then with the healer and caster bottoms and feet, because that wouldn't be possible otherwise. You'll see the caster one actually dyes much worse than the healer one. So if you wanted to get these for glamour in the future, go for the healer bottoms out of the two, because the caster one has this weird section that doesn't dye properly. Very strange. But I thought I'd point that out as well. Now for the weapons then. So these are obviously the weapons that can be crafted. They are undyeable, sadly. I was kind of hoping that they would be dyeable, but yes, this will be hard for them to be matched with. Again, they remind me of like LeBlanc from Final Fantasy X-2. I can definitely see LeBlanc showing up with these weapons. If you like love hearts, if you like pastel colors, then you'll love them. If you want to change the colors, bad luck, I'm afraid. They do look pretty cool. They're definitely interesting. They're a different style than what we're used to. I don't think we've had anything too like this before in the game. I don't remember anything so Valention's-like. But yeah, perfect time for these to come out, really, with the 7.4 patch so close, obviously, to the Valentine's Day area, or at least, you know, since Christmas, or at least it feels so doing these videos within this time frame. Yeah, I like the love hearts. They're probably not going to grow on me for any extended time. I think the armor is much better, but that's just my opinion. They're going to have some use case, and some people absolutely love these weapons, and I can't wait to see what they come up with, but it would have been nice to change the colors of them. The Astrologian globe is really interesting. The love heart spinning there in the center. I can see a lot of people loving this. It reminds me of something that could be you know, from a design contest or something. I'm not sure. I don't think it was, but it definitely reminds me of that kind of thematic design. I would love to see some different themes explored in the future. If we're going to have like themed stuff with like love hearts and, you know, love and things like that, maybe we can have some death themed ones. That'd be quite nice. Maybe some skulls on things. I don't know how easy that would be, and I don't know how like marketable that would be, but I think things should have skulls on them. If we can have love hearts, we should have skulls. But yeah, the blade looks pretty cool. Obviously going through the different sets in the background as well for striking, etc. Yeah, overall, I do like the entirety of the craftables, but the armor definitely, for me at least, shines brighter. But I think it's mostly because I'm not sure if I want to run around with a giant pink stake or not. I don't know. I'd have to come up with a very, like, sweet tooth sort of Barbie-esque glam to go with it, and I'm not sure that that necessarily matches the vibe that I've ever done in any of my glams. But other people definitely will. Pastel pink is the way that some people live in this game, and that's why it sells so much on the market board. Top tip, if you want to make a lot of gil, do a lot of pastel pink and then sell that when there is a patch with glamour in it. It sells like hotcakes. Yeah, some nice looking weapons. The Viper ones look pretty nice, offering a different style, a different option. But yeah, sadly there isn't any blue mage weapons. I know that isn't something that you would get with this item level, but it would be nice to have some craftable blue mage weapons, or any blue mage content, quite honestly. There's supposed to be blue mage content in this expansion, but where's that gone to? The weapon kind of looks like a love gun, like some kind of, it would shoot sweets at you or something. The chakrams, yeah, they're quite nice actually. Quite nice indeed. But yeah, I've personally quite enjoyed the journey of collecting all of these things, crafting a lot of them, buying some others from a market board, seeing what they look like. If I wasn't to be making videos like this, I would have absolutely had no idea what things would have looked like dyed. So it's been a nice journey, and that's why I enjoy doing this stuff. It seems a little bit OCD for me to go to such extreme lengths with the dyes, etc. I know some of you hate the long form videos, but it was as much for me as it was for you, and to properly catalog this stuff so that in the future people can jump around a timeline and go, oh yeah, this is what this looks like in this dye with this thing. And what do the weapons look like? They look okay, I guess. Personally, for weapons, I'm looking forward to new glowy versions, rather, of some of the trial weapons. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come out with next, and hopefully 7.5 is when they drop that stuff. I really like the palette on the Picto weapon, by the way. Really nice. The other thing as well, just to wrap off, is the accessories. And I will say the accessories aren't too bad. The necklace kind of sucks. It reminds me of 50 million other necklaces in the game. The bracelet's quite nice. It's got 2 little roses and the earring with that red gem. There is no differences with the different jobs, basically different roles. They all share exactly the same model, and with the rings as well. So if you're into your roses, I can imagine a lot of people snapping those up for glamour in the future, if people do indeed actually go to the extreme lengths of glamoring for accessories. Now, if you want an example of a weapon that would definitely go with these, I would highly recommend you go to Castrum Urbania, that particular dungeon from Stormblood. It will offer you these type weapons. So if you've forgotten about these, this is the sword and shield, the Ritter sword, Ritter shield from Castrum Urbania. Definitely, if you're looking for a better looking, better matching weapon set to go with the courtly lover stuff, you could do a lot worse than the Ritter stuff from Castrum Urbania. Anyway, let me know if you've got any of these sets, and of course, you know, a lot of you are probably using these as actual gear, but I think they look absolutely gorgeous. And what would you like to see in the next crafted set in the far future? Would you like to see a return to more steampunk stuff, or would you like a completely different idea for a theme? And yeah, feel free to share that with me. Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.